Okay, today's video blog is the hassles of moving. Now, Sam and I originally got the date wrong for when we thought we had to move by, but once we got that straightened out, we agreed, we've been talking about it for a year, it was time to move. We're getting married in September, we need more space. It fell to me, since Sam works full-time, to find a realtor, to look at apartments, to narrow it down to which ones I really like so he could decide from my favorites. Which is difficult because I didn't want to pass on something that he would have fallen in love with, so it was complicated at best. But we found something. As you can see, I'm sitting in our new apartment now. We've been here over a month. Boy, did that go fast. But in the process of moving, there's several things you have to do. You have to find a realtor, find a place, sign the paperwork, pay the movers, move in. You have to switch over the gas, the phone, the electric, the heat, everything that you pay for. Well, in our case, the place we live in now, heat, hot water, and gas are included, but we didn't know gas was included until we called to move it over, and they said, well, no, we have an account with your building, but you don't pay it. Well, so I call up the management company. The management company says, huh? Let me call them and find out what's going on. This is a new acquisition for us, this building. Let me double check. Someone might have missed something. Well, 15 minutes later, she calls back and goes, no, you were right. You were absolutely right. I just got off the phone with them, and we do pay the gas. It's included in your rent. I said, oh, okay, great. Well, one less bill. We have a gas stove. So heat, hot water, and gas are included. All right, great. So that means the phone, the internet, and the cable, the power, these are our responsibility, of course. Well, Sam and I don't have cable. Would I use it? Yes. But it would just motivate me to not find a job. But we have internet, of course. We have phone, which I don't totally understand because we both have cell phones, but Sam wants a house phone. We have a house phone. I am fine with that. Now, here's where we get to one of the sticky bits, because with the phone, we had Verizon. Yes, I'm name dropping. I never paid attention to the household bills because I was never paying them. I admit that. But when we moved, more and more things became my responsibility, or at least monitoring them fell under my jurisdiction, because I was here and Sam was working, and I'm a control freak, and it works out that way because Sam is, if you've ever met him, a very quiet, somewhat shy person. He stands up for himself, he certainly can. He's just not as good at it as I am. He doesn't enjoy it as much as I do. That being the case, we told Verizon, all right, well, you know what? We're moving on the 1st, switch it over. Well, they did, according to them. We got here, and somehow, looking around the apartment in the first place, neither of us managed to realize there's no phone jack, which strikes me as illegal for several different reasons, because I don't know many octogenarians who have a cell phone, or if they have one, fully understand how to use it. And there's a lot of older people living in this building, I've now discovered. So I've been keeping a log of grievances, dates that I make phone calls, because see, I'm the paranoid type. It has nothing to do with the fact that Sam's father works in the district attorney's office, which is helpful. This has to do with the fact that my own mother was highly litigious. So I keep track of things, because if anyone ever tries to call me out on something, I put a log record up in their face and go, oh really, so I didn't call you at this time on this day. Would you like to see the phone records to prove it? I have those too. So, Verizon. According to them, we were supposed to have service effective the 1st of April. But starting on the 3rd of April, when we realized there was no internet and phone because we didn't have a jack, and Verizon is DSL in this area, I started making calls. 3 of them to the installation department. Now, they couldn't even get their pricing right. First she said it's $95, then she said, oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong number. That's for the West Coast. We have a flat fee on the West Coast. Our office that you're calling right now is in LA. In New York, it's different. I think it's $115. All right, well, that's not such a drastic difference. That's not so bad. So I called back to confirm about a week later, even though they couldn't come for 2 weeks. I called to confirm, and she said, okay, so the price is going to be $162. And I went, I'm sorry, what? How did the price go up $50 in a week? Oh, well, she quoted you the wrong number. Really? possible you might want to educate your people better, especially about things like, price. So I got the confirmation number, and I called to see if it could be expedited, and they said, oh, we don't do that. I mean, I can put you down as requesting it, but it never happens. Thanks. We never could find out where the phone jack is supposed to go. Like, we don't even know where the line is supposed to come up in the apartment, so it really all proved irrelevant. So on the 7th, this is 7 days later, I called and I said, look, we're going with someone else. We're going with Time Warner. It turns out Time Warner's the only one who has service in this area other than Verizon, but that's beside the point. I had Time Warner my whole time in Maine, and I love Time Warner. One of my sisters used to work for Time Warner. So on the 7th, I call and cancel. The woman hung up on me like I'm this close to using the C word. Yes, it was that bad. The absolute moment she says to me, okay, the cancellation's through the system, click. I'm sorry, I don't get to ask for a confirmation number, verification that you're disconnecting our phone and our internet, and to you as well. So we get a final bill that's well out of line, because our service should have been terminated on the 7th. I had to call back when Sam got this bill for like $91, and the statement date was the 25th of April. The 25th of April, we didn't have service for 2 weeks as far as we knew. We'd officially canceled. Time Warner had come and installed. So I called. We made sure that we were getting Sam unenrolled from autopay, because they hadn't unenrolled him. Apparently what happened was when I called on, let me see here, the 2nd of this month when we got the bill, they said, look, you paid the last bill, and that actually you overpaid because for some reason the cancellation was put on hold. It hasn't actually gone through yet. And I went, really? It's almost been exactly 30 days and it hasn't gone through the system yet? And you're sending us a bill when your customer service reps have been rude, uninformed, underinformed, and one hung up on me? No. So she said that she wasn't really sure about everything that had been going on, that we will get a backdated credit, that it should be on its way here and arrive, let's see what's today, in the next 2 weeks, so we're still expecting it in like the next week or two. And we should get a credit for the overage that we paid for last time, the one that was dated the 25th, because according to them, they bill a month in advance. How in the hell do you bill a month in advance? You don't know what calls I've made. You don't know what calls I'm gonna make. For all you know, I'm out of the country for a month. The hell are you coming up with a number to bill me? You can't base it on the previous month. The previous month is just that, previous. I could have had a family crisis. I could have never been home and was working full time. There's no way to know. So that's just idiocy in one of its most basic forms. But she also said to me that their job is to make sure that there's a dial tone to the building, not that we have access to it. More proof of insanity. She said that if there's no jack in our apartment, we have to eat the expense. Which is interesting, because that's the same thing I was told by our management company, which is a whole separate blog, by the way. So, you would think people would do more for you when you're paying them. If you're trying to find a way to accurately, fully pay the bill you owe them, shouldn't they be doing everything possible to make that easy for you to do? Because you'd think they'd want to get paid, right? But it's been ridiculous. It's been ridiculous. And then there was confusion with Time Warner because when they canceled us on the 7th, she erased our phone number. And it wasn't until a week later when I called to confirm that we had an appointment in a week that Time Warner said, oh, well, the appointment got canceled. She erased your phone number. Without a phone number, we had to cancel the work order. Nice. Which means we had to wait another week for Time Warner to be able to come. Oh, just, sheer ridiculousness. On the upside, things are getting done around the house. Sam seems to be remarkably enthusiastic about getting stuff put up on the walls, which we never had in the old place, about doing the DIY improvements that, you know, I do, because I like using power tools. But I don't know. It is what it is. But that's the first stage of the hassles of moving in the last, 2.5 months this whole thing's been going on? Half of March, April, no, most of March, April, and a week of May. And it's not over yet. There's still things going on with our management company I gotta take care of. But, And of course, this week it's all catching up with us. Sam feels sick. He may have to come home early. I'm not feeling so great. I was gonna take a few days off this week, but there's too much still to do. And if Sam's sick, both of us can't take the time off. I don't know. Eventually I'll relax. I mean, either that or I'll collapse. One or the other. But for now, I'm going to sit here and enjoy some online television on one of the many free sites that are around. A very nice hot cup of orange spice tea with the real clover honey. And a nice warm croissant from the amazing cafe bagel place literally downstairs. And that, everything at that place is good. The macaroni salad, the tuna salad, they sell lox, they make their own cream cheese, which is drool worthy. And then their prices are great to add on top of it. So that's all for this installment. Yes, every so often these blogs are going to be me ranting about something, but if you ever read my stuff on MySpace, you'd know that's a common theme with me. I like to complain. I'm a Scorpio, and I'm Jewish. But I'm also Italian, German, French, Canadian French, actually, Irish, Scottish. Did I say English? I'm a mutt. Most people who know me say a lot of my Jewish personality comes through. It is what it is. I think I'm just a bitch. I'll talk to y'all later.